guys, surprise! It's Marissa. I hope you guys are staying safe and well rested, whether you're with family or separated from family. Just know that I miss you guys a lot, and I've been thinking about you guys, and I'm sure we all miss church and joining together and worship. But here I am with you virtually, and I want to share a message with you. And as we go through this, I actually want you to have the Bible in front of you. I want you to go get pen, pencil, and paper. So pause me now and go do that. Make sure you turn off the TV. Tell your brothers and sister that you're going to focus for 10 minutes. Invite your family if you want to. And sit down and join me in this message. And part of this, we're going to focus on a little snippet of Jeremiah 17, verses 7 through 8. So you can turn to that now or just follow along. And it says, "But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." So today we're going to focus on the second part, verse 8. They will be like a tree planted by the water. So to plant something, what do you think you need? Write it down. Do you need dirt? Do you need a flower? Do you need a seed? Yeah, you probably need most of those things. We're going to focus on the seed part. First, I want to tell you that I love the outdoors, and I love them so much that I have a job and I get paid to teach about the outdoors and walk outside all the time. And there's seeds all over the place. All the pine cones you see, those are seeds. The acorns you see on the ground that look like big nuts, they're seeds too. And so go ahead and write down some seeds that you know of around your house. Some things you might not know about seeds is they individually need different amounts of different things. So some seeds may need a lot of light in order to start growing. Some seeds might need no light at all. Some may need a lot of water or just a mist every now and then in order to start growing. Some seeds can be carried by the wind for miles before they start to root and find a place to grow. And some seeds, if they don't have the right conditions around them, they're going to lay dormant for a very long time. Dormant means just laying there with no activity. Not dead, just hasn't come alive yet. There's no growth. Some excavators, that's when the archaeologists are digging way deep in the ground to find stuff like artifacts and fossils. They found a 2,000-year-old seed. It didn't even start to bud yet because it didn't have the right conditions surrounding it. So a biologist took it and did some science experiments with it, and he found out the perfect amount of sunlight, water, all the nutrients that it needs, and it started to grow after 2,000 years of laying there, being dormant. So I want us to turn to the parable of the sower. Okay, parable of the sower. It is in Matthew chapter 13, verses 1 through 9. You can turn to that now or follow along with me. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, "A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered away, because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seeds fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear." I want you to look at all the different places that the seeds fell. Look back on it, and you can underline it in your Bible or write it down on your piece of paper. Some seeds fell along the path. Some seeds fell on rocky places. Some fell in the bushes where there's thorns, and the others fell on good soil. A parable is a story that Jesus shares with us. Jesus is comparing seeds to our faith inside of our hearts right now. And he wants us to think about where our faith might be right now in our hearts. If this seed inside of you has fallen on a path where the birds just gobble it up right away, you have no chance in even starting to grow in your faith. The birds represent the enemy, Satan. And you're immediately distracted by other things in the world, worldly things. The seed that falls along the rocky places is they get scorched by the sun. So maybe you start to grow in your faith, but when heat comes and things get really tough, you may just give up. Other seeds, and this happens to so many of us, other seeds of faith have been fallen amongst the bushes with thorns, where you've started to grow in your faith and you want to grow more, but the thorns represent the distractions and the sins of the world that choke you from growing anymore. Can you think of any distractions that you have in your life that are keeping you from growing and taking root in your faith? You can write them down if you want. And the rest of the seeds fell among the good soil. These are seeds, these are people surrounded by things that are going to help them grow. So what could help you stay in your faith and start to grow strong? Maybe surrounding yourself with other Christians, maybe practicing sharing the gospel and being disciples, reading the Bible, singing worship songs, and not being distracted by other things that don't help us focus on the Lord. So I want you to think about where you are in your faith right now and how you can make sure that you are surrounded by good soil in your life. Good things, good actions, good people, good thoughts. Go ahead and write it down. And then, no matter where you find yourself now, even if you've heard this story before, that was probably a year or two ago, and you've probably grown, and I hope so. So I want you to pray about where you are right now, to pray about growth, and pray about having self-control and confidence and the things that you're surrounding yourself with now, especially at a time where we have absolutely nothing to do. We can get super distracted very easily. We're going to continue learning more about what Jesus has for us, because we don't just stop at being a seed, right? So I look forward to welcoming you to my front yard, and I'll see you again soon. I miss you guys. I really hope this is a little bit of encouragement to just get in the Word more. And if you know somebody who maybe doesn't have access to see this video or hear this story, make sure you call them and tell them about it, or invite them, send them the link to watch it in their home, and be disciples. Go and tell the story. Bye, guys.